What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and this is the wrestling news on January 31st, 2025. For y'all today, we're going to be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you Assassinators need to know from the Wrestling Inc. article, including Maria Kanellis announces her departure from AEW, but probably the hugest and intriguing news story of the day, and WWE Royal in WWE Hall of Famers, and prospects, reportedly appearing at the Royal Rumble this weekend, and ex WWE star teaming up with an ex AEW star for NXT tag team match on TNA Impact, and Paul Heyman reveals his Hall of Fame speech. Hall of Fame speech impacted the Bloodline storyline. Stephanie McMahon opens up about needing to disappear from WWE, and Bully Ray jokingly explains how WWE's JD McDonough had it coming, and then Logan Paul said a star in reality show on the same service that streams AEW content. Booker T says this NXT star has all the tools for the WWE main roster and much more. But starting things off, we got now, I guess you could say, former AEW star Maria Kanellis announces her departure with the company, and she has announced via Twitter that today is her final day with the promotion. And Kanellis noted that her husband, Mike Bennett, will continue working for the company, and pointed out that the two have a family to support. Kanellis signed with the promotion alongside her husband in 2022, following various runs in WWE, TNA Wrestling, and Ring of Honor. Following her AEW debut, Kanellis was primarily utilized as a manager in ROH, which AEW co-owner Anthony Khan purchased earlier that year in 22. When Kanellis was paired with ROH stars like Cole Carter and Griff Garrison, making semi-regular appearances on the promotion's streaming service. Streaming series. Earlier this month, it was reported that Kanellis' AEW contract was initially said to expire in later part of 2024, but the two sides agreed to a short-term extensions that lasts through the end of January. As of tomorrow, Kanellis will be a free agent, and she should be allowed to appear wherever she likes. Throughout her time with AEW and ROH, Kanellis was vocal about her desire to do more, which would have potentially included a larger creative role. However, while details haven't been made public, it seems that the Kanellis and Khan weren't able to get on the same page regarding her position in the company. Last year, Kanellis revealed that doctors has found an unusual growth of her adrenal gland, forcing her to undergo surgery. Near the end of the year, Kanellis provided an update on her health by stating that the operation was successful and the mass was non-cancerous. What are your thoughts onto this? Onto the shocking departure of the former female member of the Kingdom, or or now former Ring of Honor and AEW star. Let me know down in the comment section right down below, and let me know what was possibly the reason why that she that her and Anthony Khan agreed to just get the pink slip and or not more like it, or get the axe of letting her go. Like once her contract ends in the day and becomes a free agent, and then now that she's going to become a free agent, like where do you think what's next for Maria at this point? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But yeah, moving on to the next slide. But yeah, and also let me know what was possibly the reason. Maybe it wasn't in bad terms, but perhaps that they couldn't agree on how to see like she could do more in the AEW roster or even Ring of Honor as well. And she already probably did enough what she can do, like as an employee there. But let's move on. We got WWE Hall of Famers and prospects reportedly appearing at the Royal Rumble this weekend, according to a rumor. Like outside of WrestleMania, many fans would argue that Royal Rumble is the WWE's biggest show of the year, which is fitting, like uh, considering it hosts like the two literal biggest matches of the year, like with the seas like and scale like of the 2025 event, like a number of familiar faces like from the past as well as a number of faces for the future are set to be in attendance. According to PW Elite, like a number of WWE Hall of Famers will indeed be at the Lucas Oil Stadium like on February 1st, like such as the Undertaker and Kurt Angle. The report like also claims that some of the coaches like from the WWE LFG like series will be in Indianapolis, but it has not been like confirmed like as much which coaches will be like at the event, like while no one has heard if he will actually be in the city like for the Royal Rumble. Sean X-Pac Waltman like is a name like that has been mentioned like multiple times like from people backstage like concerning like some of the WWE Hall of Famers who could be there this weekend. As uh, as far as the future goes, it was recently reported that WWE had impressed interest like in signing Re, Re, Rock Rex Steiner, yeah, Brock Rex Steiner, like the son of WWE Hall of Famer Scott Steiner, like to a Neil deal, like which is your NIL deal, of course, which but I like to call it that, like just to make it a bit short, like but to give like him a taste like of what life is like in WWE, he will be there like with his dad, like as will Jacob Henry, like which is the son of the fellow Hall of Famer, world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Like a number of WWE NXT trainees, like who have not yet featured on TV, will also be making the trip to Indianapolis, like where they could like potentially like see some like of NXT's biggest like names compete like as including Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker, and Lash Legend have all been spotted in Indianapolis over the past few days with all four of of those ladies like reportedly being like considered like for the women's Royal Rumble match. What are your thoughts onto these individuals and these recognizable names and the new stars like that could possibly, I mean, the future new star that could possibly get make an impact in WWE, like into the NIL deal and the trainees, the newcomers from NXT, and even the stars on NXT like Jada, Roxanne, and Lash Legend, and the legends of that already been in the Hall of Fame. Like they're gonna be there. Like, and do you think that is true? Like, do you think that any of these and they're gonna be in attendance, or for the NXT stars, like including the women that they mentioned right here? I think that if they're gonna be in Indianapolis, they're probably likely gonna be competing at the Royal. And I would say, like, and there's probably going to be one particular name that's from TNA that's been reported that that with her with this women's star claims that she's not going to be there because she's going to be celebrating with a relative's birthday. Which I think, yeah, if that is true, I think they're probably going to be celebrating maybe earlier or later, like so she can make an appearance at the Rumble. Like I just don't think that's going to be that's even the case right now. And some say that they did spotted her in Indianapolis. I'm not sure if these sources are being accurate right now, but but I think that does tells me that she's going to be at the Rumble. And I think that in the men's side, but we're going to be seeing guys over at the other company that they're partnering with, which is Total Non-Stop Action. I can name like probably a top five list, like which most of them are former WWE wrestlers, like except for like one or two of them. But yeah, but but let me know down in the comment section right down below. And do you think this is an accurate claim that all these wrestlers and personalities that's going to be attending or maybe making an appearance at the Rumble? Like, let me know down in the comment section right down below. But moving on, we got an ex WWE star teaming up with an ex AEW star, like for an NXT tag team match, like NXT tag team title match, like on Impact Wrestling. Next up, we got Axiom and Nathan Frazier, like have defended their NXT tag team championship against anyone, like and everyone who has dared to step up, like aside, like from the 19 days where Chase U like re 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 reigned, like with the 19 days of where Chase U reigned as champions, like heading into the No Mercy Premium Live event, like in January, I mean, in September 2024, when Fraxium, like, when Fraxium have dominated, like, the WWE NXT Tag Team division, to the point, like, where they have now started, like, beating, like, teams in TNA, starting, like, with the Rascals on the January 23rd TNA Impact. However, they will be sticking around in TNA. And another title match, like against men, like with experience in WWE and both AEW, have set a challenge. And yes, sir, ma'am, like I am yes, sir, ma'am. I am talking about none other than after their recent victory over AJ Francis and KC Navarro. We're talking about the Nemeth brothers, like themselves of all teams. Like, and it is Nick and Ryan Nemeth that's going to be. And they went to TNA's director of authority, Mr. Santino Marella, to express their much they wanted a title shot after after a after their recent string like of victories. Morella's daughters Morales' daughter, Miss TNA, or also known as Ariana Grace, like in NXT, yeah, which is she's known in NXT, slated like that a match like for the NXT Tag Team Championships would be like a great idea, something the Nemeth brothers like didn't know like was an option. However, they were more than up for the challenge, like and on the February 6th TNA Impact, Fraxium will defend their NXT Tag Team Championship against the Nemeth brothers. Ryan and Nick Nemeth reunited. Where's this right here? Ryan and Nick Nemeth reunite in TNA when Nick signed with the Nashville-based promotion, all the way back in 2024, but due to Nick's pursuit, of singles gold over the past year, their run as a tag team has suffered some setbacks. Their biggest match, as a duo, came at uh, at the Against All Odds event in June of that year, at which they challenged for the system's TNA World Tag Team Championship. However, now that Nemeth is no longer the TNA World Championship, he and his brother can focus their efforts on potentially dethroning the most dominant tag team champion, the most dominant NXT tag team that that WWE's developmental brand has to offer. And what are your thoughts on to this? And thoughts on to this particular tag team that are also brothers that's going to be challenging the Frazier and Axiom, or should I say Fraxium, very soon. And do you think they could be the ones that dethrone Nathan and Axe for the titles? I was expecting a totally different tag team that are also brothers that formerly used to wrestle for both AEW and WWE in their times, both companies. That's currently on TNA. Went back to TNA. I was expecting them, which I think they're tag team champions as well. I was expecting them a totally different brother tag team to be the ones to dethrone them for the tag team. But I don't think it's still too late to do that angle. But I would say, but first they have to get to this one. And I think that Frazier and Axton's going to do that in order to do that dream match. But let me know in the comment section right down below, what's your thoughts onto this matter? Or do you think that Nick and Ryan Nemeth's going to be the ones that's going to dethrone them? But let's move on to the next slide. That's where we got. Next up, we got Big E news of him. We call it a fond Royal Rumble memory, like with former New Day teammates. While the May have since turned their backs on him, Big E still holds many warm memories, with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, especially at the WWE Royal Rumble event. This year's premium live event will emanate from the city of Indianapolis. It was in Philadelphia, though that Big E remembered, sharing his exhilarating moment with his former New Day brethren during 2018's Men's Royal Rumble match. And I remember that like it was yesterday, and it was in Philadelphia. And funny thing is, at that year they went to the Super Bowl, and the Eagles, their football team went to the Super Bowl, but it was against the Patriots instead of my boys in back-to-back Chiefs. But anyways, I remember that particular, and I pointed that out to both my parents at the time when I was very young, when I was in my teenage years, that is. But yeah, Like I remember, like that in particular, they said they were live in Philadelphia, and I don't know how I remember this. Like maybe it's because of that reason, because the Eagles went to the Super Bowl that year, and we were looking forward of the Eagles beating the Patriots, which they did. We were very happy about that. But the Rumble's such a special event, like for so many different people that Biggie told the Indie Sports Daily. Like when I was cool with my old partners, like we had a lot of fun. Like there was like I said, like there was one Kofi save like where we like had a basket toss like he landed like on a pile of pancakes. Like Woods was the cheerleader like in grade school. And he taught me how to basket toss so we basket toss Kofi up in the air. Like there, that's one of those like things where where you messed it up, like messed it up live. Like it's like all right, like it's done, but to be able to be like a part of one of Kofi's saves was really cool. Like that's one of my favorite memories. The spot in reference occurred moments like after Jinder Mahal eliminated Woods and Big E from the competition when tried to know Kingston over throw Kingston over the top rope as well. Like one of his feet touched the floor. Like the other was caught by Woods's Woods then placed on top of a plate of pancakes, like introduced by Big E. Like from there, Mahal attempted to block Kingston from re-entering the the ring, the the cir- the circumvent this Woods in Big E subsequently launched launched Kingston over Mahal's head like a pogo stick like as the commentator at the time Michael Cole described it as. What are your thoughts on Big E having these big old memories from his time in in uh in the Royal Rumble back 7 years ago? But despite him now no longer being a team with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, considering that they turned their backs on him just because they wasn't there for them for the last 2 years. That's because he was trying to get his neck recovered. But something just tells me maybe just maybe anytime this year we could see a shocking return of Big E and him revealing it that he's been cleared whether if he meant it by saying it on the microphone or him wearing his in-ring gear and making it obvious. But, but let me know either way what your opinions onto that matter. But it says right here, Kingston returns to action was brief, as Andrade's eliminated him shortly after thereafter. The former WWE champion did manage to remove Mahal from the match within the same time frame. However, but what do you think? What's next for the New Day? Now that they're heels, and they're going to be leading into the Royal Rumble contest. And do you think that we could see some kind of a very shocking angle, with Big E could shockingly enter the Royal Rumble tomorrow night? Which I think some of y'all probably saying that's kind of fantasy booking right there, but it's a possibility. You never know. But some of y'all probably asking, if so, then who's going to be teaming with him? They're going to tease a WrestleMania angle, for a tag team match. Well, maybe you're looking at. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not going to be nowhere near in the Sin City as much as I'd love to be there right at this time of WrestleMania season. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing any much of anything. Like, and even if I wanted to, or even if I got an offer, but without transportation, I don't think I can even get over to Sin City. But if I do, then you probably could. Who knows? Maybe you could see the mask wearing potentially superstar could make an appearance and help out, give Miss my boy Biggie a hand. But like, it's all just a joke right there. Like, but who knows? Like, never say never. Like my boy, the dead man said. Okay, I'm just kidding. Well, but seriously, yeah, you never say never. But Paul. Next up, we got Paul Heyman reveals like how his WWE speech from the WWE Hall of Fame impacted the Bloodline storyline. After nearly 40 years in the wrestling business, with a few breaks scattered like in between, Paul Heyman took his rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2024, like being like inducted in the WW in the home of the ECW's Philadelphia during his introduction speech. Like Heyman's rolled back like the years by donning like a black trench coat and a baseball cap, like before telling the entire world that if they didn't respect the legacy of ECW, then they could do something not suitable for TV, like the best way to describe it. Like if they're being professional on it. Like even on the SNA podcast, like I'm not sure if I'll say it, unless if the article or the or the or the wrestling show say it, but I'm not trying to be like a little what they call a personal mimicker or what they call or their personal tape recorder, but I'll say it would probably be more appropriate to mention it like if they say or like probably use another word to say. But however, while speaking with Undisputed, Heyman like revealed that like as much as his induction was a celebration of his career, it was also the jump off point like for the next chapter in the Bloodline saga. Like even if the fans didn't quite know it yet. And this is what the latest Hall of Famer had to say about his speech, like being like a beneficial stomping ground. I mean, beneficial uh, stepping stone to the next storyline with the Bloodline. My Hall of Fame speech become the catalyst for multiple venues or avenues, multiple avenues in hindsight. Like it's the trigger like for everything we've done like this year. Roman Reigns stepping out of character to be emotional like about his wise man like at the Hall of Fame. That was the very first step towards like the babyface Roman Reigns. While he was still the heel champion, and Cody Rhodes was his challenger. Being inducted into the city that ECW called home like for nearly a decade like was a very special honor like for Heyman himself like but it was also the first time the wise man got to incorporate like his proudest like achievements into his TV persona like his his children accept accepting like the Hall of Fame honor like in Philadelphia, all all places like the birthplace of ECW at WrestleMania 40 in a building where like people were shouting ECW in explanation. Heyman continued, like I was so grateful, like I was also so grateful to speak to my children, like on camera for the first time. I went out of my way to keep them off camera and let them decide for themselves, like what they wanted to do in their lives. Even if I kind of figured they did that kid because I think he roughly mentioned him on TV about a decade ago, so I was not really much of a shocker that Heyman mentioned. Shocker that Heyman has kids, like not just because his age and all and stuff like that be funny, but he looks like a family man. Like if he's not doing anything in the wrestling business. But anyways, the vulnerable side of the wise man. There is always a a method like to the madness if it comes to Heyman, like, but the wise man like would dive deeper into how his Hall of Fame speech set up the Bloodline's next year of storytelling, like by revealing that it was when he and the rest of the group started like showing their vulnerabilities, like when Solo really started leaning on me, like Paul Heyman added, like Roman was vulnerable, like showing love for his wise man. Then the wise man revealed his vulnerability, like, and everyone was ready to embrace us. Like, people were ready for it. Like, then Solo really started to lean on me. By being vulnerable, Heyman believes that it gave the fans a genuine reason to cheer for the bloodline for the first time in a while, like which like in turn led to the babyface turn like of himself and Roman Reigns. Like as for what's next, Heyman will once again be at crossroads as he may have to choose between acknowledging his tribal chief and CM Punk, who is such a close friend of Heyman, like that he was given the duty of sitting next to Heyman's children. I got the Hall of Fame, which I think I remember watching that. Yeah, watching that live on Peacock. Like where even Paul Heyman pointed that out. That his longtime best friend, the best in the world, and the Second City Saint, and the Chicago-made wrestler, was sitting near his children. Like yeah, like watching their dad and his longtime friend and I guess you could say advocate, like being being inducted into the Hall of Fame and him having his speech of talking about well what he has to say in his time in wrestling for almost 40 years, which that's a very long time. Like I can't believe this guy's been doing this for a very even before ECW was even existed, like before he even brought up ECW. But like inside again, hindsight, the Hall of Fame speech was the beginning of the babyface turn of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, and the identification of my best friend in the world who was sitting beside my children, which he also mentioned like onto this interview like he did in the Hall of Fame induction that came into play his summer when I told Solo like that Roman Reigns said for CM Punk to be left alone like so when I came back, like, and it was 5-on-4, like, and this bloodline needed like one more member for War Games, it made sense that I'd bring in CM Punk, and it made even more sense that I'd owed him a favor for it. But what are your thoughts on to Paul Heyman's opinion on the reason why they became baby faces and the first him and Roman became turned into baby faces in the first place after months after Roman Reigns lost the undisputed championship to Cody Rhodes. And do you think it had something to do with the Hall of Fame induction? I'll say in multiple ways. I think it's a possibility, like because it showed like a different side of Paul Heyman, and he also brought back the character that he haven't used in a while, like in his time, is when he was the promoter of ECW back in the '90s, like when he had the trenchy coat and the baseball cap that said the initials that everybody loved chanting, especially when it was still an active promotion. Like yeah, like so yeah, like I don't think that there was no doubt that was the catalyst of what's to come on what's next for the bloodlines like next what's next in the storyline for what WWE has in store for us WWE Universe fans/fans. But let me know in the comments down below if you agree with Heyman on this or not. Which I would agree in a way, like he does make sense. Like especially with him being known as a Hall of Famer. Normally, when Hall of Famers get inducted into them, they're known as legends, and you cannot disrespect a legend. Like, and you have no, like you just cannot help but have love and respect and be a fan of them. Like even if they were heels, like you would probably like them because they were very cool with that edge. And known to Adam Copeland because he's now in AEW, being known as another four-letter name that sounds similar to Edge, but he's known as Cope, like with a C and drop the extra E in the in the in the E in the DG, I believe. Yeah. But let's move on to Stephanie McMahon news now. Like she opens up about need to appear from WWE in January 2023. Stephanie McMahon, like from her position as WWE co-CEO, in which she served as along with Nick Khan. Like, since then, McMahon has remained uh, relatively uh, out of the WWE spotlight, with the exception of a few appearances at big events. While speaking to the Pat McAfee show, like the Billion Dollar Princess provided some insight into her absence. She revealed, I never stopped being proud of WWE ever. Like I do, I think like I wanted to disappear for a little while, and I kind of did. Like, and it was good for me. Like I needed it. I needed it. Now I'm back. According to her husband and WWE CCO, which obviously stands for Chief Content Officer, Paul Triple H Levesque, like said that Stephanie's time off, like from the WWE road, was used to enjoy life with their children, like one of whom like is now in college. Like additionally, McMahon seemingly like focused like on other passions and projects like such as per- pediat- pediatric cancer, as revealed like by WWE this week. Like fans now know that some like of her time away was also spent like filming like a new series like titled Stephanie's Places, which will premiere on ESPN Plus like this March. Like and up and up and upcoming guests like for the show includes the likes of Charlotte Flair, uh, uh, Roman Reigns, and even the WWE Hall of Famer himself, the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. like in her absence, like the former executive, like also discovered like that WWE is a prominent part of her being. Like one of the things that I learned, like that she had, like when I stepped away, is that I'll never get away from WWE ever. Like it is a part of who I am. Like it is what I love. I lived like this amazing life with so many opportunities to meet like incredible people, like and be a part of something that's so different that connects like people like all over the world. Like I feel it like everywhere like I go in like every like arena I go to is something that is just so special. But what are your thoughts on Stephanie McMahon revealing like her absence from the last couple of years, and like you're happy that she could be coming back, and do you think she will be back? And if you think so, what she'll be doing in some capacity in WWE, like behind the camera and behind the scenes. Do you think that she'll be helping doing some writing work, or do you think she'll be doing some work like when it comes to like where they're going to be traveling to next on the shows, like whether if it's on Raw, or SmackDown, or even the premium live events like that comes on every month, or what do you think? What's her role is going to be in specifics? I should be asking. Let me know down in the comment section right down below. Like just by asking those questions, like I would love to hear your answers. I think she'll be doing something once she goes back there, but I think she totally deserves a vacation and deserves a break. Because I don't know like when the last time she took a break, even though she played like this mean, horrible person character, and I'd say be such a witch, I guess you could say, the PG way to describe her. Like she may have been like that on camera, but behind camera, like she sounds like she's a very nice person to hang around. Like even though like there's been some stories about her, but that's probably more of her problem kind of business. And I would say it's none of our business to know about, so I'm not going to be the one to judge. But yeah, like, but despite that, I think like if you get to know her, like she's a very cool person. But let's move on to the next slide. We got Bully Ray jokingly explains how WWE's JD McDonough had it coming. This past Monday on Raw, like we got JD McDonough, like of the Judgment Day, suffered a scary injury that led to his hospitalization. Like after challenging for the WWE World Tag Team Championship alongside Dirty Dominic Mysterio uh, against the War Raiders, like like it's been reported that his injury was a punctured lung and a broken several ribs. Like during the moonsault that led into the outside ring, like where where he managed to finish the bout before reportedly collapsing on his way to the back. And on speaking on his Busted Open Radio podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray like did his best to inject like some humor like into the serious situation now that it's been confirmed that JD McDonough will be okay. He he joked like he had it coming. Like you know what that prick said to me before I made my entrance at WrestleMania 40 to be a special guest referee in question. Like that could be like a wild guess to be answered. Like don't like slip on the ropes. Like you know what I did in question that could also be a wild guess to answer, like like slipped on the ropes, like in and Bully blamed the younger wrestler like for speaking like the mishap like into existence like before confirming that he was joking. Like he then went on over like the injury like in more detail. Like the commented like that McDonough like for finishing the match after getting injured like I mean to such an extent like get well soon like JD like is what he said about not joking and say out of character, and it definitely could have been a lot worse definitely with him going out of character, that of course. But as someone like with a considerable amount of in the experience, like 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 avoid more several injury by putting the brunt like in the impact on the meaty like part like of his neck like rather than landing directly on his back on his head. Like still like as it stands now, McDonough will likely be out of action for at least a few months. But what are your thoughts on to Bully Ray's joke about him, like after mentioning about the time where JD McDonough then commented like that he hope he don't slip like when he's out in the ring when he was currently was a special guest referee for his match against the match between the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, which they were known as the Pride at the time, against the Final Testament of the Authors of Pain and Karrion Cross. But what are your thoughts on Bully Ray's joke? And do you think he went a bit too far on it, despite like him mentioning that, like in him letting them know and wishing the full and fast speedy recovery? Or do you think it was just a feel good joke, like considering that McDonough was reportedly okay and he's just going to be out of action for the next 4 to 6 months, they say? Which he's unfortunately definitely going to be missing WrestleMania, and man, that totally sucks if you're going to be missing the showcase event. Like yeah, it just don't pay like to be injured. Like it's very unfortunate. And I wish him a full and fast and speedy recovery. And hopefully that he will be back very soon. But but yeah, like I thought that was very funny. Like he he probably totally deserved. Like yeah, like that Bully Ray is something else. Yeah, like he can even make a serious. He can even make something serious, make something like a serious moment into something that's a feel good, funny moment. Like let's hope that nobody get offended from it. Like considering, yeah, on the point out that like it was reported that JD McDonough, and yeah, I forgot to tell you that like that JD McDonough like did suffer, yeah, like a rib and a lung injury, like that had been punctured and broken. But yeah, but luckily it that according to the doctors, like that he will be okay, and he just need to heal for the next few months to come. And I hereby on the SNA podcast, Mr. Super Ninja Austin himself wish a full and fast, speedy recovery to McDonough. Like I send him all my wishes, well wishes, and prayers to the former tag team champion and cruiserweight champion as well. Like not to forget any of his accomplishments in his time in WWE. And if I wish I knew exactly his accomplishments outside of WWE, I would point that out as well and mention them. But but yeah, like get well soon. But anyway, just where we got some Logan Paul news set to star in reality show on the same service that streams AEW. Like, and we got some very shocking and intriguing out of the blue news as earlier this week, Logan Paul sent out a cryptic graphic like of himself like and his brother Jake, and alongside the caption, the the uh the moment like you've all been waiting like a decade for March 27th on of this year going to be streaming on Max. Naturally, like many fans assumed this point like to be an indicator like of an upcoming fight between the brothers, like as revealed like in a Warner Bros. Discovery press release, like it was rather a teaser like for a new reality series. The series like titled like Paul American will be on Max, like original, like with its premiere like date like set for Thursday, March 27th, like from their weekly series will will chronicle like the lives like of Logan and Jake Paul like across 8 episodes like episode up like until its series like the series finale like which like is penciled in like for May 15th. Like footage will show a mix of never be before seen like and like large arbitrable like content. Like everyone thinks like they know like Jake and Logan Paul, they're the original superstars and influencer like culture and build their brand like on being unfiltered like but Paul American goes deeper like says Nina Rosenstein like and it says exclusive like vice president like of HBO programming like this show like uncovers like a side of their relationships we've never seen as brothers, sons, partners, as well like as Logan's transition into fatherhood. It's a raw and unexpected look into their world. Init- Initially, like rising like to fame on social media, both like Logan and Jake, like have since expanded their brands to the sports world. Like their like brands like to the sports world as well, like with Jake venturing like into the professional boxing, like Logan did the sum while also joining professional wrestling as a WWE superstar in WWE. Logan has notably won the WWE United States Championship. He's challenged for the world title on multiple occasions as well. And initially, to Paul American, like Max is a home to all elite wrestling's weekly shows such as AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision, which simulcast on the streaming platform and as well of the TBS and the TNT respectively uh, broadcasting channels. Like AEW and WWE have been rival like companies like since the former's like launching in 2019. But what are your thoughts on Logan Paul's reality show going to be featuring on to the same streaming service that All Elite Wrestling of all places is going to be? And do you think that they're going to advertise it on AEW programming, even on Picture in Picture Break when they're talking about stuff on the streaming platform? Like we're going to be seeing it's going to be showing the Paul American like show right on to the TV screen, which I can see like they can show like Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I can see it right now with the name of the show going to be plastered right in front of the screen, like whether it's on the full commercial break or even Picture in Picture commercial break. which I can see that happening considering it's on the same streaming service. Like they're going to be showing it on that channel specifically because TNT and TBS is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, along with the streaming service does as well. Which that's why they're simulcasted like AEW Dynamite and Collision on those specific channels. But let me know in the comment section right down below, and we're gonna end today's wrestling news with Booker T says this NXT star has all the tools, like the WWE main roster, like WWE NXT broadcaster Booker T, like has praised All Ego Ethan Page's potential and why NXT is the perfect place for him right now. And it says right here, since making a jump from AEW, Ethan Page has quickly established himself as one force in NXT, from bouncing around the mid card like scene like in AEW to having a face to face confrontation with The Rock on a recent edition of NXT. There seems to there seems to be an ongoing re, rena, renaissance, 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 like in Page's career. His veteran, his veteran presence in an abundance like of charisma have made him a standout, causing many to believe he's destined to bigger things, like on the WWE main roster, on one of whom is Booker T. I believe so. And while speaking on his own Hall of Fame podcast, this is what he had to say about the former NXT champion and NXT star, of saying Ethan Page is a veteran. That guy has all the tools to break out and go to the main roster and do something. But you wouldn't want him to get lost in the shuffle, like like a player or slash coach, like in a lot of ways. Like he fits in perfectly, like in NXT. Like he like said, I mean, NXT. The WWE Hall of Famer also like highlighted other NXT talents, like who are making like a impacting pointing out impacting making an impacting what they call it, impression, making an impacting impression, like pointing out their steady rise, like through the ranks. And Charlie Dempsey's getting his props. Briggs, like right now he's getting his props. Like he's doing like the thing with the Japanese kid, Yoshiki and Inamura. Yes, Yoshiki Inamura. Like I, I can't think of his name, like which I just mentioned him right now that Booker T said, but right now, but yeah, like they're like trying to like find a spot for him. He added, this NXT's uh like set the stage for Vengeance Day, with several high stake matches have been made officially, and like some teas for the show, which I mentioned on the SNA podcast. There was some that they teased on the show, which is the likes of Ollie Ethan Page and Javon Evans and even what's his name, who's the other wrestler that's gonna be on, which they says right here, like the show, like with Ethan Page and Javon Evans, like that could be the match that could be added on the card. But there was another match that was teased that could be a potential contest, which trying to place like what it could be. But do you agree with Booker T? Like onto this, uh, onto this opinion. Like, and do you think that we found the next big stars out of like Ethan Page and maybe Charles Dempsey, Alexis King, uh, Julia, and well, maybe a little bit like when it's outside of her being feud with Roxanne Perez, that is. But I'll say, yeah, her, Javon Evans, and Noble Femi, and plenty of other wrestlers, and even Stephanie Vacure, like they're the future stars in the WWE business. And when do you think they could get called up in the main roster at some point? Like, and do you think they will be very soon? And do you think they have what it takes to be on the main roster down the line? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I guess that'll be it for now. Assassinators with the wildest and intriguing wrestling news, stories, and rumors. And man, there were so many, but if I had to pick my favorite ones, I would say on who's going to be at the Royal Rumble event, whether it's backstage or in attendance or making the Royal Rumble appearance by competing in the match, whether it's in the men's or women's side, and even the with Paul Heyman mentioning that his Hall of Fame speech could be the reason why that they're why the storyline is continuing, and it shows that they even ended the third inning. But now I see what Paul Heyman is talking about right now, considering there's plenty of family members that are in the wrestling business, even a couple that's outside of WWE that could be making a jump in WWE very, very soon. And even like when I told my brother this, he even joked that saying like they might as well hand over the company to the Hawaii and Fatu family. Like if that's the case, like when there's like if they're coming in and they have this much family members and like there's plenty more that they're not gonna be ending anytime soon, which that's one thing you can expect. Even though there probably could be breaks between the years, like 1 year we can see one family member go and then the other can go the following year, and then it's gonna keep going until the cycle, this never ending cycle of who's in the family with Roman Reigns, the Usos, The Rock, and others, yeah. You name it, yeah. Like who's in this family of the Hawaii and Fatu? Like they're just gonna keep going like from wherever they come from, whether if they have experience outside of WWE or uh, or like they're just getting started by like with them coming from like a university, like from college, or like with them like going from a wrestling independent school or like a professional wrestling school, yeah. But let me know down in the comment section right down below about that. But but I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite wildest and intriguing news stories, and I would like to see them. Like what you want to talk more about on the SNA podcast, and also what are your thoughts onto to the Bloodline saga right now? And is it your favorite storyline in WWE right now, or is it something completely different? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know which legends or which legends return, or what surprising returns, or even the or even like what appearances and attendance gonna what legendary wrestlers gonna be making their attendance and appearances, and what I think what's gonna be the shock of the night of tomorrow night's pay-per-view. Let me know all about that in the comment section right down below. I'd like to hear them as well. And I hope, yeah, again, you'll like this video. And if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button, along with the subscribe and post notification bell for more SNA videos. And please make sure to check out my SmackDown review show video, which is going to be later on this evening. Like when SmackDown goes off the air, of course, and I'm gonna tell you what exactly went down, and we can even talk about what predictions of what could possibly happen at the 30-man over the 30-man and 30 woman over the top rope pay-per-view, like which I kind of probably got my prediction of who's gonna be winning the whole thing, but you're probably gonna have to you're gonna have to wait until I put it out there, like which I'm gonna include, like who could possibly be in the Rumble, but I'll wait and see about that. And make sure to check out my SmackDown review video, like which it features like Chelsea Green will defend her Women's United States Championship against Michin. We also got one half of the Women's Tag Team Champion Naomi against former Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, Jimmy Uso against Carmelo Hayes, and we also got what's his name? The Motor City Machine Guns teaming with Los Garza, which I guess they confirmed the babyface terms completely, like for them teaming with them, or maybe like they're probably tweeners. They just happen to have a common enemy out of the Pretty Deadly. And also, what else? Yeah, what am I forgetting? I think that's all gonna be for now. And I hope y'all Assassinators, yeah, like enjoy yourselves and y'all having a fun, wonderful Friday afternoon. Much more better than mine. Like, but well, yeah, yeah, considering it's all gloomy and cloudy outside and it looks very a bit depressing. Normally, I wouldn't let that bother me, but like it just kills the positivity into the room. But like, I'll see you guys next time with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye bye, my assassinators. Y'all take care and have a fabulous and phenomenal Friday.